Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be reviewing the Husky ratchet here. And I say review, so what I've been doing is I have an entire collection of tools that I've been reviewing for a full year, and I want to do videos on them. So you see a lot of videos of guys just pulling out brand new tools right out of the box, and they put them through a stress test, and that's it, right? My idea is they should actually be used for a full year, possibly more, to kind of get a feel for them, see how they actually hold up in dirt, grime, grease, coolant, you name it, whatever. So that's exactly what we're doing. So I would be going through and telling you what I like and dislike about this Husky ratchet. Now I do have a Milwaukee here. This is, I believe, one of the cheaper ones that you can buy. This is poor man's diesel. I have a lot of cheap tools. It's just how it is, especially starting up in the mechanic industry and trying to go out and buy your own tools and build up a collection, and you know how that goes. So yeah, so I have these two guys right here. We'll be focusing more on the Husky. This is not completely done with the year torture test, I guess you could say, but I will be doing videos on this guy and another ratchet probably within the next month or so. So back to this guy. So you might be asking yourself, why should you buy this over just going out and buying a Milwaukee to begin with? And it's the price points. This guy here, I believe I picked it up for like 85 bucks, and that was with a discount and everything through Home Depot. And it comes with a charger, batteries built inside. It's a metal design. It is a brush motor, I believe, inside here. And this guy here is $145 right now on Home Depot. And I think that's his bare tool. But you can pick these up in kits and everything. That's actually how I got this one and the other ratchet. Take advantage of the Home Depot deals. Use a discount if you're a military veteran. Yeah. So anyway, we'll be going over what I like first, and then we'll be moving into what I dislike. And I gotta say, there's not a whole lot about this that I actually dislike. So here we go. Alright, so number one, price point. I already said that. I think right now it's 99 bucks is what I looked on Home Depot. These actually went up in price, I think. They used to be a little bit cheaper. But, second thing I like, and this is going to be a curveball for a lot of people. So you might notice, hey, where do you put the battery, right? Well, this is actually built in. And this is actually one of the features that I personally like. I haven't had an issue with it. Personally, I think this design is a lot better than the Milwaukee's. And the main reason is, whenever you're going to grab a ratchet, right? And these are designed to be used by breaking the bolt free and then running them out. It's not supposed to be a powerhouse. You know, you're not supposed to just stick it onto a fastener and then twist it. Sometimes you can get away with that, or doing the old put the socket on and run it up and jam it into the bolt to break it free. I've done that too. But, oh yeah, so when you go to break a fastener free, usually on a ratchet, and this might just be me, but I feel like this is going to be relatable to a lot of people, I usually grab it towards the end, you know, that way I can get as much leverage as I can to break it free and then run them out. And what I've been kind of noticing with the Milwaukee, and this is kind of something I don't want to talk about, but because this is about to be reviewed, is the battery placement. And I understand why they do it. You know, they can't put a battery up here or in front. That'd just be ridiculous. But a lot of times when I grab this ratchet and I go to break something free, the battery flexes quite a bit, to the point where you can hear some popping, some cracking. I haven't broken a battery yet. I've been really careful with it, trying to grab it further up, but it just feels wrong for me for whatever reason. I think it's just how I personally use ratchets, you know. And a lot of people might think, hey, what if you have to charge it? Well, this thing charges pretty quick. Usually a battery, full charge will last me 2 shifts at work before I have to plug it in, let it charge for 30 minutes, and it's usually, pretty good to go. So it doesn't really matter. And then I think Torque Test channel did a segment on these too, to where he put them through the test with Milwaukee's and everything, and I think this actually scored pretty high. And what he said makes sense. I mean, if you're going to go out and buy a high-end Milwaukee, I think one of their higher-end ratchets goes for like 199 bucks, probably just for bare tool. You could buy 2 of these. Have one in your box on charge, using the other one. When one dies, swap them out. I mean, it makes sense to me, right? And if you look at the charging port, never really had issues with getting dirt and everything in here. I know these look clean. I cleaned this guy before I put it in my box when I retired it, because this is, this stays in my garage now. I've taken, I'm using this guy more, so I wanted to have a electric ratchet to use in my garage, so that's what I've been using. It's been wiped down, and I actually did the same thing to the Milwaukee. That way you can kind of see the wear between the two. And I actually think the Husky has an edge on this, just because the metal design, right? And this is just all plastic. And it's actually heavier too. It just feels more built, but it doesn't make any sense because this is 99 bucks and this is 145. I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna go into the next feature. All right, so the next thing I really like about this is actually gonna sound really stupid. It's actually the switch on the head. I find that when my hands are covered in dirt, grease, coolant, it's actually easy to switch this guy. With the Milwaukee, I mean, these things are kind of notorious for being kind of hard to switch sometimes. But I've never had issues, deep inside of a truck trying to, make it go in reverse or forward. Switches is fine, works is fine. Never had an issue. Alright, so here's the next thing I actually really like about this, and I think I already said this before, just talking about the Milwaukee versus this guy, but just how incredibly well this guy's held up. It's a metal design, it's heavy, feels well built, so I'm gonna have to give this guy a decent win. It also has a lock up here too, and this sounds weird, but I'm the type of guy where I'll throw some tools in, come to the shop, and this is a tool that I really like to use for working on engines, just because having the ability to break some worm clamps loose or little things like that. It might not seem like a tool like this is valuable until you actually put one in your hand and use it, and it's just incredible. But here we go, talking about some things I dislike about this guy. All right, so this is the biggest pet peeve I have with this guy. It's brushed. It's not brushless. The Milwaukee is brushless. This guy is brushed. That just means that you have to be a little bit more careful whenever you use it. If you get coolant down this guy into the motor, it's probably not going to last too long. And with this guy, I can just kind of whip it around, go into some dirty areas and wet areas and not have to worry about it. But this guy here, you gotta baby a little bit. Now, I never really cleaned this. I just made sure that, it was out of diesel fuel, out of coolant, name said liquid, just gotta make sure these guys stay dry and you don't just toss them into a puddle of coolant. You gotta actually take care of it. Now, I've never greased it, never did anything crazy. It's held up great, no issues there. So, especially being a diesel mechanic and how dirty I get throughout the day, it's done everything and more of what I could possibly ask it to do, And that brings into the next topic, the trigger. Now, I've used quite a bit of different ratchets from other guys, letting them out and just letting me try them. I like the Snap-on's version where it's just a little button. I wish they just kept just put a button on here. I hate this little paddle switcher on both of these guys. They both do it, and they both look fairly identical, to be honest with you. I just wish it was just a normal button. That's all. If Milwaukee did that, that'd be awesome. But I don't know why they do. So yeah, just be aware of this. If you're in some wiring and stuff like this guy does like to get hung up quite a bit. Not terribly bad, you'd be surprised, but still, it's something that just rubs me the wrong way for both of these guys. Not just the Husky, also with the Milwaukee. So now you might be asking, RPMs, torque, and all that stuff. And I think Torque Test really said it best on this latest ratchet review. Don't really worry too much on the specs of a ratchet when you're buying it, because like I said, it's designed to be broken to bolt free and then running it out. If you're going to care about anything, it's going to be RPMs, how quick you can get that bolt out and back in. The Milwaukee is definitely faster than the Husky, but I really don't see that big of a deal. You know, I'm not having 10 bolts lined up in a row to where I'm just trying to zap them all out at a time. Usually it's a bolt here and there, and I just need to break it free, get loosed, or maybe a worm gear, you know, need to back that off real quick in order to pull the line off. I don't know. I'm not going to go crazy into all that spec. And the torque that I put on this thing was quite a bit. Never had an issue with the head, and I never really had an issue with Milwaukee either. And that's mainly because I'm kind of careful with these guys. I'd hate to break one tool, especially because I don't have these guys both sitting in my box, at work. I can't afford to keep on breaking ratchets and replacing them. That's, it's just the way it is. I could break them by warranty this out, but it's going to take a few days. It's not like I can just walk into a truck and warranty it. Probably could, actually. But anyway. So yeah, just some things to beware of. But I think this is a solid buy. And if I would to buy these again, I don't even think I'd buy this guy. I think I'd just get 2 of these, put them in my box, take one home with me if I needed it, leave the other one there. This is just fine. There's no need to go out and spend $145 for a bare tool and then with the battery. Unless you're getting one of the combo deals, just save your money. This guy will do just fine. Just gotta remember that it's brushed, so keep it dry. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. See you in the next one.